Well, hello everybody and welcome back to another new vlog. Thank you for joining me once again. I want to talk to you today about understanding the conditions when shooting landscape photography, and I think these conditions are the perfect example of why. I'll explain a little bit more about that in just a moment, but for the time being I've stopped here at this little spot here because I've got bright sunlight on these trees at the back of the lake, and just above them, I don't know how well you can see that, there's this bank of cloud that's just kind of moving over the tops of the trees at the moment. I've taken a couple of shots here. I hope you like these shots. I haven't really decided which I prefer. They're all very similar at different focal lengths. The conditions that I've got today really aren't that typical for the 1st of February. What I'm finding is bright sunshine, as you can see from the light on those trees at the back of me, but also it's quite warm, and there's quite a lot of blue sky. There's just these odd patches of cloud that appear every now and then, which are making for some interesting contrast between the sky and the light on the foreground. So basically what I've got to try and do here is capture that light somehow and capture the kind of majesty of those clouds above all the trees at the back of the pond there. But I've also got quite a strong breeze going on at the moment, so I'm having to shoot with quite a fast shutter speed so I don't blur any of the movement as the breeze is blowing the trees around. I'm focused on the trees at the back here, and I'm shooting with an f4 aperture. Now it's a very wide aperture, so obviously I've dropped my ISO right down to 100, which is the lowest it can go on this camera, and I can really speed up my shutter speed so I can take a very quick shot, which means I avoid all that movement. I hope you like those images. I'm going to move on and see if I can find something else now which might also include some more clouds. So let's go and have a look. So as you can see and as you can hear, the breeze here is really making life difficult for me. I've come to another lake, the other side of the park, and I've got out here on the lake somewhere an island quite far out into the lake, but then the trees either side of the lake are creating almost a V shape, and then above there I've got all these clouds, this bank of cloud that are coming in nicely now just over the horizon. So what I'm trying to do is focus up on the island in the middle of the lake and capture the sky in the top 2/3 of the image, and the bottom third is just the foreground, and I hope that looks alright as well. I'm going to move on now because this breeze really is killing it, so I'll see if I can find a better spot to talk to you and explain the shots as well. On the way to that last lake that I was at, I actually walked past this little spot here. I'm in what is effectively a car park, and just as you walk along this path here along the side of the car park, we've got some trees at the back of it which are all lit by the sun as the sun is dropping below the horizon on the other side of the scene. So the sun is in that direction and the light is being cast onto these trees here. What that's doing is it's creating an equal exposure between the sky, the very blue sky, and the light on the trees. So it's given me this opportunity to capture this image here, and what I quite like about it again is the way the clouds appear just above the trees, and it seems like the clouds themselves are following the line of the trees just above, and then as you go up a little bit further the sky becomes very blue again and you get no clouds at all. So that's quite an interesting shot, and again it's all about understanding and knowing what the conditions are doing to be able to capture a shot like this. I've had to shoot with very quick exposures to capture these shots because the breeze that we've got is just blowing the cloud across the sky very quickly, but it's also blowing the trees around as well. So when I'm shooting I have to try and make sure I stop that movement of the cloud and the trees at the same time. It's quite difficult to do, but obviously that understanding of the conditions mean that I'm able to at least try and have a go at working it out. I'll move on to the next shot now and see if I can find something else. I'm actually standing on top of a railway bridge at the moment, and I'm looking right along the railway line just behind me, and I've had to lift the tripod up quite a long way so I can see over the top of that wall. As you can see, the tripod just there, and then swinging around I've got the railway line just there, and I'm focused on the railway line as far into the distance as I can see. And then just as you go along the railway line, of course, there's this obvious cutting that the line creates around it. So I'm just kind of looking at that now and focusing on the railway line, and then just above that cutting there, as you get to where those trees are, there are a few clouds, a little bank of cloud that's just appeared above the cutting. So I've tried to take that shot. However, I think looking at it now, it might be a better shot on the other side of the railway bridge. I am kind of quite close to a cafe at the moment, and there's a car park just next to the cafe, and all the cars are driving past along this bridge. So I'm going to be a bit careful now and cross over to the other side of the bridge and see if the shot there is a bit different. From what I'm looking at, it looks a bit better because the light from the sun is shining directly down towards the other side of that bridge. So I'm going to take a shot there. When I left my house earlier today, I had blue skies, I had a low sun, a little bit of low cloud, but I also had quite a strong breeze, and it was those kind of conditions that could have put me off taking photos today. Obviously it's the beginning of February, and those conditions really aren't the worst that we could have had at this time of year. I could easily have had snow, blizzard-like conditions, freezing fog, all kinds of things at this time of year. So actually these conditions were quite good for what I wanted to do, but I still had to overcome the low sun on the horizon with the harsh light, and I also had to overcome the strong breeze, and I also had to try and find a way to work with the clouds that I had. So taking all that into account, I've had to try to understand all of the conditions I had to work with, and I hope you have been inspired by the images that I've taken, and I hope that you are not too scared to go out and use the conditions that you have in the future. I'm going to wrap the vlog up here now. If you've enjoyed this vlog, then please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you again on another vlog very soon. Bye for now.